Okay, wellbutrin and lamictal. I don't know the dosages, and I must have been on those things April, May. Yeah, April, May, June. Three or 4 months, maybe, which is, it's barely even enough to stabilize any sense of the effects. 3 or 4 months. Minimum. I mean, my opinion now is, and nobody will like to hear it because it's not a practical, it doesn't port itself practically. It's applicable to me because I'm like kind of a first principles nerd, right? So like I'm into empirical, like long, slow empirical inquiry. But if you really want to stabilize your medication, you've got to fix it at wherever you think it feels comfortable. You've got to fix it right there, and you've got to keep it there and live for a year. Don't have lapses. It has to be at that dose for a year, because then what happens is all your cognition changes, but you can't buy time. So the only way to test the differences in your cognition is empirically, and that only happens through time. It's not a question of, oh, well, how do I feel subjectively right now? No, we're talking about long arcs of cognitive transformation that stretch over weeks and months and years. So that's when I say I was on wellbutrin and lamictal. I barely even gave it a shot. And I think at that point, I was still kind of dabbling. It was kind of this triage sort of emergency thing. Like, hey, doctor, do you have anything that can kind of like break up whatever the fuck this mental image thing is that's got a hold of me? And so, but it wasn't until then after Sullivan, then I worked with Miller, and then I worked with Hirasti. So Miller sent me to Hirasti. And it was only it was at Miller. I think I decided at Miller that, okay, I have to do this. I have to go on medication. I have to find something that is going to fundamentally change my brain chemistry for the better, and it will, right? I mean, this level of absolute resolve. And but when I was working with Sullivan, that was still a long way off from that way of thinking. And I was a long way off because also, okay, so then here's the sexual aspect comes in. So the sexual aspect is that my initial experiments in the psychotropic or antidepressant drugs would always affect my sexual response in several ways. Well, yeah. Usually, how many ways can a male's sexual response? Probably many ways. Different I mean, your body can respond in various ways, right? Um, various endocrines and hormones and stuff and all of this. So there was all kinds of responses, obviously. But erections either happening, and I had a number of experiences of like almost uncontrollable erections, but no ejaculation, no orgasm possible. So there are a number of combinations like this of also erectile issues, like, oh, well, there's just no erection that's going to happen. And so all of these kinds of, these are all new developments. And I remember complaining to Sullivan. I remember saying, yeah, what's up with the sexual dysfunction? Like, I don't know if I can live this way. Like, I need to fuck. And she's like kind of scolding me. And she's like, well, like people that are really depressed, they find the trade-off is more than acceptable. They'd rather trade their sex life for their mental health. And I said, oh, really? Isn't that kind of counter? I mean, establishing mental health is supposed to really be part of like the foundation of your sexuality. It's not something that, it's not a cost benefit. You choose one or the other, zero sum. Either you get to have mental health or you get to have a sex life. No. It's actually your sex life is one of the foundational essential pillars of mental health. Jesus Christ, people. I wouldn't have believed it myself until I verified it myself. There are so many ways that the mind sublimates for sex drive. You sublimate in a million different ways. You think that, well, this or that's beneath you, or it's too much energy, or you're not attractive enough, or you're not smooth enough, or the cost benefit just in terms of externalizing, traumas that are being externalized upon you, which is inevitable. Traumas will be externalized upon you if you get into sexual relationships. So there are a million ways that people compromise themselves out of having a sex life. Now, I understand that there are plenty of people that genuinely do not like sex. I don't think that what I'm saying is applicable to these people much at all. I am curious what they do with, for lack of a better word, libido. I mean, because obviously everybody has drive of some sort, ambition, career ambition. What is it, how do you, how does such a person answer the question, what is it that you have to prove? What is it that you have to prove to the world? Are you looking for love? You're looking for recognition. You're looking for fame, fortune. You're looking for world peace. I don't know, but you can tell a lot by somebody's motivations about their drives, about the way that they think about sex, even if they're not thinking about sex. I mean, even if they're not talking about sex. It's quite inevitable. I mean, we're sexual beings.